Hello and happy November from WAVA's Flex team. I'm Rosie Baylor. I coordinate the Flex option here at WAVA, and this is our video newsletter for November 2022. Up first, of course, is a celebration. The best news that we could have as educators is that WAVA Flex students are showing a great deal of academic success. We have a very high percentage of students who are passing all classes, really keeping up with work, balancing that out with all of the other things that you have that has you joining Flex as it is. And so we are really proud of you. It's a big success to see so many of you doing exceptionally well in your classes. All right, up next, our monthly mindset for November is live to give. And so a big part of what comes in here is, of course, helping in our communities and supporting other folks. But it's also somewhat about gratitude. And so we really appreciate you and the efforts that you're making for your learning if you were a student, and for all of the support that you're offering if you are a learning coach or parent. Okay. We also invite you to share that gratitude with people around you that are helping you with your learning, whether that's another family member that helps with a particular subject sometimes, it's a teacher that has really extended to be supportive of you. I just invite you to kind of fill our world with those feelings of giving and of sharing and gratitude as we go. All right, up next, reminders. So it's really important when you're attending a virtual school to check and respond to WAVA email accounts daily. Okay, so this is what we're expecting from students, even younger students. Learning coaches, you are blind copied automatically on every message that is sent from a WAVA staff member to a WAVA student account. So you have that context. But I've been a little disappointed. Sometimes I'm sending out some emails to students and I don't ever hear back a response. And so it's just really important, even if you're not really sure what to say in your response, to say, I got your message and I'm thinking about it, or thank you for your email. I will be I'll be in contact with you soon, or I'll see you next week in homeroom, or whatever that may be. We know that the younger generations don't check email as often, but it's really the primary way that WAVA communicates. So it's really important that students are checking those email accounts on a daily basis. So set that reminder up. That could be one of the very first things that happens whenever your learning routines are scheduled, right? The start of your learning day. Not just on Monday, please, but every day of the learning week, whatever that looks like for your family. Okay. Also, a reminder about Freckle. Freckle has launched now that all of WAVA has finished the STAR 360 testing. I know that there were some questions from kindergarten, first, and second grade families about why is this launching so late? And it was just part of the both a brand new rollout of a new thing that we're doing, but also we needed data from the 3rd through 11th grade students who take the STAR 360 tests in order to know where to place the work inside of Freckle. And so that was a part of it. This is a new thing that we're really excited to have. We have found it to be very engaging. And we hope that you are finding the time in your day to add 10 minutes of English language arts work and 10 minutes of math work daily. And it's a goal, right? You can build up to that, build those stamina muscles for doing that. Start with 2 minutes and see where you get by the end of the week. Okay, so this is something that we're very hopeful for. And we know that when you get the right dosage, right, when you take the right amount of Freckle and you take the time for it, you can really see positive outcomes. And so that's why there's that stress on spending at least 10 minutes in each subject daily. Okay, a little context there for everyone on that. And then finally, a reminder, learning routines and flex success. This is the number one thing that we see that supports learning success and interferes with learning success when it does not exist. And so I have a couple of examples that I do want to show you. The first is just here in this flex agreement, just a reminder, the top of our list is routine school participation, right? Is something that we know is so important. Where did my little tool go? There it is. Sorry, I'm trying to draw on here for you. Those of you may know that I do one take, right? So even if I make a little bit of a boo-boo, I try to get there with just a single take. So right here at the top of the Flex agreement, routine online school participation, including adequate time in online courses. I've spent some time looking at some student data, and some students who are struggling with classes are just not spending enough time in the lessons. And of course, there's online work. There's also offline work that has to happen at all grades, right? So just taking the time. Each course is designed to be about 5 hours a week. That's a pretty heavy lift, right? And you need to make sure that students are spending the time inside of that. And of course, having a regular schedule is one of the most critical things that we see that supports this success. And as learning coach, that's one of, oh, my circle didn't get made right. That's one of, there we go. That's one of the things, is to establish, monitor, and ensure that that adequate amount of time is spent. And when we see all students having that academic success and those opportunities for growth that we all want for them. All right, so how do we do this? Some of you were like, oh yeah, this is something, I get it. This is totally works for me. But for others, it's a little bit more challenging. So I'm gonna move my face over here for a minute. And let's take a look at ways that you can manage a weekly schedule, right, and get that going. So you do know this is a student view in online school. I have scribbled out the student name in a couple of different spots. When you look at your schedule, you can click on the week's plan, okay, not just the daily plan. Trying to get my little tool to activate again. So right up here, whoa, I drew right through it. You can choose the week. Maybe I should just be underlining instead of circling things, right? And you can see here are the Class Connect sessions, right? Some are required, like homeroom. And so you'll see that as you go through. Optional social time chat with the counselor, for example. I wish they could be different color codings, but they're not. Take a look at this. Use this as your plan so that you know what's coming, okay? The next part of this is connected to, as I get my tools set up a little bit differently, what comes underneath these colored bars, right? You have got here all of the assignments that are due for a particular week. Some of them are actual tasks to do. For example, if we look at the math line, third line down there, right, for most of them, there is a quiz that needs to be done, and that's the open circle. Let me get my drawing tool back again for you, right? So that's the open circle. I'm just going to look at the Wednesday here, where you can see, okay, there's a quiz that needs to be done. But prior to that, of course, there is a file, an assignment to read. And so making sure that students are using their and either keep it on the screen. Some families print it out. Some families write it out on a whiteboard. There's lots of different ways that you make your schedules sort of come to life for you. But it could be as simple as, all right, here's Wednesday. I need to work on my my project here for Unit 4. I'm not ready to do that now. I'm going to start with my math. I'm going to read my math first thing in the morning, right? And then once that's done, check it off. I took my quiz. Check it off. So my check marks are disappearing. If you were to use an online tool like Paint or something like that, or even just make this a photo, right? Take a screenshot of it and edit the photo even on a phone, right? You could do that also. So just an example of a tool. Now, for some of us, working through the plan in this way is not really why, it doesn't really work well, right? We have students that really like to get focused in on a certain subject. So I'm going to show you another example that we could work on creating together. Get my head out of the way again. So if this is something that you feel like you might struggle with as a learning coach or as a student to put together, reach out to me. My contact information is right down here, down at the bottom corner. This is an example of taking a single day of the week and making it mostly about a single subject. This is not for everyone, but there are some students that really prefer to begin with one thing, complete it, and then be ready to go on to the next subject the next day. Okay, so this is just a sample one that I worked up as an example for a middle school student. And you can see that the different days of the week have different subjects. Monday is for math, Tuesday is for English, Wednesday is for science, Thursday is history, Friday is PE and career exploration, and missing assignments, things that may have gotten in the way. And so this just breaks down what a day might look like. If your student doesn't start at 8 in the morning, that's okay, right? We can adjust this, we can change it. So I can either send you this as a Word document if you send me an email, or we can meet or have a phone call, right? Zuro, and we can adapt it right as we go. So I am available to assist with that if you think this is something that could be really useful for you and your learners, or your learners. Maybe you are the student watching this video. All right, let's get back to the main screen here. And I have a couple of suggestions for you all, for students. So this might be the time of year that now that most of us have our routines kind of sorted out, that you want to jump into some of the social opportunities. You don't have to join a club, right? That's surrounded, centered on baking or centered on music or centered on esports, or they started a Dungeons and Dragons one. You can just pop into these various schedules that you will see on your Class Connect schedule, right? Those green bars that I showed you for what it looks like for middle and high school. Actually, for elementary, I should have grabbed a different screenshot, but you still have your weekly plan that you can still take a screenshot of and print through. Kindergarten through 5th grade, there are social hours and lunch bunches during the week. The times vary. And so you have to look at your schedule in order to see that, right? But so different grades are at different times, different days of the week. Check that out so that you could just go. And it's literally you eat your lunch, students eat lunches and interact with their friends, or, you come right before lunch, right after lunch, and just have a chance to connect with other students. And these are run by our counselors at elementary, Janelle Martin and Nadia Gonzalez. Okay. Middle school, there's ASB Club on Wednesday at 12:15. Our own Miranda Nogaki is the advisor for middle school ASB. ASB stands for Associated Student Body, and it's a leadership group. It's where students learn some leadership skills and begin leading activities with one another. It's also just a lot of fun, okay? So that's on Wednesdays. On Mondays and Fridays at just about the same time, Amy Dorman and Lance Hyatt hold the middle school chat sessions. And so Ms. Dorman's is the full hour. Mr. Hyatt does half an hour of chat followed by half an hour of sort of a Q&A. If you have a question, you can pop in and ask that, or learning coaches often come in and ask those questions. So just be aware of that. And then for high school students on Wednesdays, also at 12:15 p.m., the high school ASB, Associated Student Body, right, the leadership group, hosts chill and chat sessions. So you can look for that on your schedule and just pop in. You don't have to come every week. If you pop in, you don't necessarily have to do anything, right? The first time or the 10th time. You can observe, or you can just participate in the chat for any of these. You can have camera on or camera off. We love it, of course, when your cameras are on and you're participating on the microphone, but not everybody loves that. So you come and you do you, and get that opportunity. If you haven't checked one out yet, please do before you decide, not for me, right? Make sure you can see what it is as we go. And then finally, a request. We want to make sure that you are proactive in your communications, and this can be with each other, right, between learning coach and student. And this is also with us, with WAVA. So if your family comes down with an illness, please send a quick email to let your homeroom teacher know. You can also send me a quick email or just copy me on it. But we're pretty good about being proactive with our own communications inside of the Flex team. So I invite you to please, please, please let us know what's going on. If there is a problem and you cannot get PowerPoint to open because you have not downloaded Office 365, ask your teacher. We are here to help, right? Come to me, come to office hours. It's really hard for us to read minds and know what's going on behind the scenes when things are a little bit stuck. If you are one of the students that's struggling a little bit, or you have a student who's struggling a little bit, It's okay to let us know that and reach out for some help. Learning coaches, we're here to collaborate with you and team up with you. Um, and those families that take advantage of that, we see a lot of growth with students. So we are so happy to have you as part of our Flex community. Um, Proactive communication just helps in so many different ways. And this is it for November 2022. We look forward to seeing you in homeroom, seeing you in chill and chats, seeing you in social hours. And we're just glad and grateful for you being part of our WAVA Flex team. Have a great month. See you in December. Bye bye.